All right, YouTube, we're going to cover Australia here. And this is really reduced words. And this is really heartbreaking. But the Australian PM holds back tears as he announces Indigenous referendum. So Australia has had a lot of right-wing leaders. And they finally got, I wouldn't say, yeah, exactly, Kim. I wouldn't say this guy is like left-wing progressive, but he's certainly less right-wing. And this has been a long time coming. We've been seeing this in Canada as well. And just basically a full acknowledgement of what we did to the indigenous people of these areas that we've conquered. Like what you'll see in Canada, it's really quite amazing, is that you'll see like a piece of art with a plaque on it, a piece of indigenous art with a plaque on it, and it says, this company or this building or whatever, whoever owns the building, whatever, we acknowledge that we are operating this business on conquered land from so-and-so tribe, which is really quite amazing, right? Basically, we fully, we acknowledge that we're now, this building is sitting on land that was conquered 150 years ago from indigenous people. So it's refreshing to see this happen in Australia as well. We can't, some people would criticize this. Oh, what's the point? It doesn't mean anything. The fact is that we don't have time machines. We can't go back in time. We can't change what's happened. All we can do is acknowledge the past. And through that acknowledgement of the past, we can help create a better future. And for a lot of indigenous people, maybe it's not enough. And I understand that, because how could you quantify, right? How could you quantify that? The damage done, right? Eradicating, just basically eradicating the whole population, right? Is there any way to say sorry enough to move on from that completely? Probably not. But at the very least, we can do a few token things. We can start there. So this is really cool to see. So let's jump into it.
If not now, when? The question that Australians will be asked at this year's referendum is a very simple one. It will read, a proposed law to alter the Constitution to recognise the First Peoples of Australia by establishing an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice. Do you approve this proposed alteration? To be very clear, because I was asked this question this morning, are there any circumstances in which this will not be put to a vote? The answer to that is no. Because to not put this to a vote to not put this to a vote is to concede defeat. If not now, when?
So it's pretty,
The question that Australians will be asked at this year's...
Pretty stark words there. Really drives home how real this shit is. When you conquer a land, what you've done to their people, their history, and let me tell you, back in the day, they were ruthless. They were just fucking ruthless. The poison blankets thing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So it's nice to see some acknowledgement. And who knows where this will go, but at the very least, we can talk about it a little bit more. We can give them a little bit more respect. But this is a long debate. And really, this is just kind of the beginning of the debate, in terms of indigenous rights and, how we make up for the mistakes of the past. Obviously, that conversation needs to be happening in the United States when it comes to African Americans in general, right? Reparations and all that. So maybe we can learn some lessons from how we deal with, indigenous people, and take those lessons home. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice to actually learn something? Boo, you're being too optimistic. I get it. All right. Well, that's all I had. Just a really quick one. Thank you.